Every trader you've ever admired didn't get good because they found one magic setup. They got good because they did the boring stuff on repeat until it stopped being boring and started being who they are. Today, we're building that. Welcome back to day 24 of From Zero to Funded in 30 Days. If you've been with me since day one, you now know how to read trends, candles, structure, and volume. You know your indicators from day 7 through day 10. You know how to find entries and exits, place stops, size your position, and follow a trading plan. You even journaled your trades in day 22 and picked apart your own mistakes in day 23. Here's the problem. Knowing all of that means nothing if you can't do it the same way every single day, whether you're up, down, tired, or excited. By the end of this video, you're going to have an actual routine, pre-market, during market, and post-market that turns everything you've learned into a repeatable process instead of a one-time lucky trade. Let's get one thing straight before we build anything. The traders who blow up prop firm accounts almost never blow up because they didn't know a strategy. They blow up because they knew the strategy on Monday and abandoned it by Thursday. Consistency isn't a personality trait some people are born with and some aren't. It's a system. It's something you build the same way you built your entries in day 13, piece by piece, with rules, not vibes. Think about it like this. If you flip a coin that's slightly weighted in your favor, say it lands heads 55% of the time, you don't win by flipping it once. You win by flipping it 1,000 times and letting that small edge play out. Your trading edge from days 1 through 23 works the exact same way. One trade proves nothing. 100 trades executed the same disciplined way is where your edge actually shows up. That's why the trader with a mediocre strategy who executes it the same way every day will out-earn the trader with a brilliant strategy who only follows it when they feel like it. Here's the part almost nobody talks about. Consistency isn't just about your trading decisions. It's about your environment, your schedule, your energy, and your emotional state walking into the session. If you're trading from a different mental place every day, sometimes calm, sometimes anxious about rent, sometimes half watching a game on the other screen, your execution will be just as inconsistent as your mood. So we're not just building a trading routine today, we're building the container your trading happens inside of. I want you to picture two traders. Trader A has a decent strategy, nothing special, just a solid 9/21 EMA and VWAP setup like the one we've used throughout this course. But Trader A shows up at the exact same time every day, runs the exact same pre-market checklist, takes the exact same number of trades, and logs every single one. Trader B has read every strategy book, watched every YouTube video, and can explain market structure better than most professionals. But Trader B trades whenever they feel like it, skips the journal when they're tired, and doubles their size when they're on a hot streak. 6 months from now, Trader A has a funded account. Trader B has blown through 3 evaluations. That's not a hypothetical. That's the pattern I've watched play out over and over with traders in our Discord community. Knowledge is not the bottleneck for most of you watching this. Execution is. And execution is a routine problem, not a strategy problem. I break every trading day into 3 phases: pre-market, during market, and post-market. Miss any one of these, and the other 2 start to fall apart. Let's go through each one. Your pre-market routine should take somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes, and it happens before the bell for NQ and MNQ traders. That means before the 8:30 a.m. Central Open, or well before your session if you're trading overnight liquidity. Step 1 is the news and calendar check. From day 19, you already know why prop firms care about this. You're pulling up the economic calendar and checking for CPI, FOMC, NFP, or any high impact release scheduled that day. If there's a major catalyst at 8:30, that changes how you approach the first 15 minutes. Not trading it necessarily, but you need to know it's coming so you're not blindsided. Step 2 is marking your levels. This is where days 3 and 12 come back, support and resistance, and your key Fibonacci zones from the prior session. You're marking the prior day's high and low, the overnight high and low, and any major structure level from day 5 that price has respected recently. Do this before the open, not while candles are moving. Because in the moment, your brain will start bending the chart to match what you want to see. Step 3 is your bias for the day. Based on higher time frame trend from day 4, are you looking for longs, shorts, or are you neutral and waiting? Write it down, one sentence. I'm bullish above the overnight high, bearish below the prior day low, no trade in between. That sentence is your filter for the next several hours. Step 4, and this is the one most beginners skip: a 2-minute check-in with yourself. Did you sleep? Are you stressed about something outside of trading? Are you already thinking about revenge trading from yesterday's loss? You learn in day 21 that psychology drives execution more than strategy does. If you're not in the right headspace, the honest move is to size down or sit out entirely. That's not weakness. That's the routine working exactly as designed. Here's a practical tip. Write all 4 of these steps down in a physical notebook or a simple note on your phone, not just in your head. I know that sounds almost too basic to mention, but there's a real difference between thinking, yeah, I'm bullish today, and actually writing, I'm bullish above the overnight high, bearish below the prior day low. The physical act of writing it down forces clarity, and it gives you something concrete to hold yourself accountable to. 3 hours later, when price is moving fast and your emotions are trying to talk you out of your own plan. Some of you in our Discord have started sharing screenshots of their pre-market notes before the open. That's a great way to build in a layer of public accountability too. One more thing on pre-market, don't let this phase turn into paralysis by analysis. I've seen traders spend 90 minutes marking every possible level on the chart until it looks like a spider web. And by the time the bell rings, they're so overwhelmed they can't make a clean decision. Your pre-market routine should sharpen your focus, not scatter it. If you're marking more than 4 or 5 key levels, you're probably overdoing it. Keep it simple enough that you could explain your entire bias for the day in 2 sentences to someone who's never seen the chart. There's one habit that separates traders who survive their prop firm evaluation from traders who blow it in week 1. And it has almost nothing to do with strategy. I'm going to show you exactly what it is in a few minutes, so keep this in the back of your mind as we go through the rest of the routine. Once the session opens, your job shifts from analysis to execution, and execution means following the plan you already wrote down, not making a new one in real time. Start with your watch list narrowed to the setups you actually trade. From day 13, you know your entry criteria cold. Don't go hunting for a new pattern you saw on someone's Twitter feed at 9:15 a.m. Trade the setup you practiced. Set your risk before you set your entry. From day 16 and day 17, you already know your max risk per trade and your position size. Enter that stop loss the second you're in the trade, not after. A stop loss you plan to add later is a stop loss you'll talk yourself out of the moment price gets close to it. Give yourself a trade limit for the session. This is huge for prop firm accounts. 2 to 4 A+ setups a day beats 10 mediocre ones. From day 20, you know most prop firms have daily loss limits. If you're taking your 10th trade of the day, you're probably not trading your plan anymore. You're trading your emotions. Set a hard cap, like 3 trades max, and when you hit it, you're done. Win or lose. And build in a cooldown after a loss. 2 losing trades in a row. Step away from the desk for 15 minutes. Walk around, get water, whatever it takes to reset. This single rule alone will save more funded accounts than any indicator ever will. Let me walk you through what this actually looks like in real time, because it's easy to nod along with these rules and then forget every one of them the second a candle moves against you. Say you're trading M&Q. You took your pre-market bias of bullish above the overnight high and price sweeps below that level, tags your stop, and you're down 1R on the first trade of the day. The untrained trader sees that red number and immediately wants to jump back in to get it back. The trader running this routine does something completely different. They check the clock, confirm that's loss number 1, and they simply wait for the next A+ setup that matches their actual criteria from day 13. If a second loss comes, the cooldown kicks in automatically. No debate, no negotiating with yourself. You get up from the desk. This is the exact moment where routines separate traders who keep their funded account from traders who are back in the Discord next week asking what happened. I also want to mention screen time discipline here because it ties directly into execution quality. Staring at a 1-minute chart for 6 straight hours doesn't make you a better trader. It makes you tired. And tired traders make worse decisions in the final hour than they did in the first. Build defined trading windows into your during market phase. For a lot of NQ and MNQ day traders, the highest quality setups cluster in the first 2 hours after the open and again around the early afternoon session. Outside of those windows, step back, review your notes, and let the market do its thing without you glued to the screen. This is the phase everybody skips, and it's the one that actually builds your edge over time. First, update your trading journal from day 22. Every trade, every reason you took it, and how closely you followed your plan. Not just wins and losses process. Did you follow your rules or did you freelance? Second, do a 5-minute review of your 3 trades or however many you took. What worked, what didn't, and most importantly, from day 23, which of your known common mistakes showed up again today. Overtrading, moving your stop, revenge trading, flag it if it happened. Third, prep tomorrow's rough bias based on what the market did today. You're not doing full analysis yet, that's tomorrow's pre-market job, but you're closing the loop so you're not starting from zero every single morning. I'd also add a weekly version of this review, not just a daily one. Every Friday, or whatever your last trading day of the week is, pull up your entire journal from the week and look for patterns instead of individual trades. Are your losses clustering at a certain time of day? Are you consistently breaking the same rule from day 23's list of common mistakes? Is your win rate on your A+ setups actually higher than your win rate on the close enough setups you talked yourself into? This weekly zoom out is where the real self-coaching happens. Daily reviews catch today's mistake. Weekly reviews catch the pattern you can't see when you're only looking one day at a time. And don't skip this phase just because you had a losing day. This is honestly the moment I see the most beginners quietly abandon their own routine. They have a rough session, they feel discouraged, and the journal entry that would have actually helped them the most is the one that never gets written. The days you least want to sit down and review are exactly the days the review matters most. Okay, here's what I promised you earlier. The single habit that separates traders who pass their evaluation from traders who blow it, it's not a stop-loss rule, it's not a specific indicator, it's doing all 3 phases of this routine on your worst day, not just your best day. Anyone can follow a routine when they're up money and feeling great. The traders who make it are the ones who still mark their levels, still journal the loss, and still take the cool down after 2 red trades, especially on the day they least feel like doing it. Discipline you only show up with when things are going well isn't discipline. It's a mood. Real consistency is doing the process identically, whether you're up $500 or down $500. Before we wrap up, I want to flag the 3 ways I see traders let this routine slowly erode. Because it rarely collapses all at once, it usually leaks out one skipped step at a time. The first is what I call good day skipping. You have 3 green trades in a row, you're feeling confident, and you decide the post-market journal can wait until tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes never. The irony is that your winning days often contain your most valuable lessons. What made that setup work so cleanly? And those are exactly the days people skip logging. The second is routine creep, where your 20-minute pre-market checklist slowly turns into 5 minutes because you already know what the market's going to do today. That overconfidence is exactly when the market humbles you. The checklist isn't there because you're incapable of remembering the steps. It's there because it removes your mood from the equation. The third is treating the routine as optional on days you're trading a smaller account or a demo. If you only run your full process on your funded account and cut corners everywhere else, you're training the wrong habit. The whole point of building this routine now, during the course, is so it's already automatic by the time real money and a prop firm's rules from day 20 are on the line. Here's the full circle moment. Everything you've learned across the last 23 days, trend reading, structure, indicators, entries, exits, risk, psychology, none of it compounds unless it's wrapped inside a routine you repeat identically day after day. Your strategy might get you into good trades. Your routine is what turns good trades into a career. Prop firms aren't grading you on whether you can find one great setup. They're grading you on whether you can execute the same disciplined process for 20, 30, 60 trading days in a row. That's the whole game. So remember what I said at the top. Nobody gets good by finding one magic setup. They get good by doing the unglamorous stuff on repeat until it becomes who they are as a trader. Today you built your 3-phase routine: pre-market, during market, post-market. Now it's your homework to actually run it. Write out your own pre-market checklist using what we covered today and drop it in the comments. I want to see your version of this routine. Tomorrow in day 25, we're taking this routine and putting it to work in paper trading so you can prove it out before a single real dollar is on the line. If this video helped you, hit subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you tomorrow in day 25.